But I'm happy you're on, Trav. It's been, I think last time you came was 2018.
Yeah.
The episode's called Everything's Political.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. So
Yeah,
good to see you.
a while ago.
I know a lot's changed. I was joking obviously about, being CEO of Black Men Don't Cheat. that content, it was dope. I'd love to see some more of it. But I know we was joking about the struggle being someone that's like traditional stand-up to then trying to like appeal and cater to where are now online 30, 60-second content.
Yeah.
Short, sharp, reactionary. And it's a whole different world, isn't it? So
yeah, it's different. It's not. It's like it's one of those things that just requires time. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't just wake up a stand-up comic. Like you actually put in the time. You hit the clubs. You work. Like I was on stage before I came here.
Yeah,
just working material. Like I'm always on that zone. But with this the online content, I'm like, I just don't. I gotta be honest with myself. I'm like, I don't love it. So it's like I have a good idea and I'll do it, and it's like it will work. But that doesn't inspire me to go back and be like, all right, let's hit it again.
You haven't like necessarily fully transcended into that online comedian because you can imagine like you said, time, like thinking of concepts.
Yeah,
I don't know how Munya does it,
bro. Salute to that guy.
But would you call Munya a stand-up comedian?
Nah, I haven't seen any stand-up.
But like, or comedian in general.
If he titled himself comedian, you couldn't tell him he's not a comedian. Like stand-up comedian is a very specific thing.
Yeah, I mean, his purpose is to make people laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, in everything that he does, like even it's sort of like stand-up in a way because everything that he's saying, that he's presenting to us is factual, just in a funny way.
Yeah.
Just like how you could be speaking about something political, it's factual, but it's in a funny way, but you're just doing it on stage where his stage is Instagram.
Online. Yeah. And his turnaround time is like, it's remarkable.
It's
bro.
insane. Like, and
it's like, man,
editing, recording, like,
I'm telling you, the whole setup is crazy. It's like, it's got to the point where something kicks off and I see people on the timeline like, yo, Munya, tomorrow
where
morning,
you at?
I'm ready.
That's
like,
pressure
ready
though.
Yeah.
He's like chipping it. He can, rise to the pressure.
I
When
just
it
send
comes
you the
to
bat signal on that. Like you gotta just
when Chip is ready to
busy,
clash,
bro.
like
Yeah.
tomorrow, I'll send you one.
But remember the Chip, like he was at the petrol station that
Yeah.
night. Like,
Yeah.
He responded quicker than certain man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So there you go, man.
Yeah, I respect people that do it. Like, hats off to them, man. Do you know what I mean? It was mad because when social media stuff came out, stand-up comics, like, the conversation was very much like, nah, them men ain't real comedians, da-da-da-da.
So you were like the black taxi dons, like how
Uber.
they were in Uber.
100%.
Where were you in that conversation? Was you over there hating on the new young blood?
Nah,
on Tommy Expensive and them, man?
Nah, because you know what? I'll be honest, like, I jumped on it, like,
early.
It's when it was 15-second videos. So it's like, I put my bid in, and that's how I knew, I stopped, and I was like, okay, this ain't me. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's one of the ones that starts, and you literally feel the pull. Okay, that video got laughs. What else can I think of? And you just keep doing that, and you just stay in that. And I started to notice how it would affect certain men's writing who were stand-up comics before.
Because they start trying to replicate that on the stage, and they don't
get
sit
short.
well.
Their punches get short. Everything gets short. The rhythm changes.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know what? I'm just gonna commit and do what I love. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where I'm at in life now, where it's like I am who I am, and this is what I'm on. If I change my mind, I change my mind. I'm not locked to nothing. But right now, this is what I'm on. And I think it's important everyone just keeps it real. So when I see these men doing an online thing, I'm like, nah, big up, bro. I watch that shit. I'm enjoying as well. I'm in the audience, fam. This is funny. But when you get on stage, I'm like, that's my world now.
Would you say that you're in the best shape of your career?
I mean, it's mad because like you have big moments in stand-up, and at that time, that feels like the best moment of your career. So it's like for me, I don't really tie to that anymore. I just accept that this thing is a journey that's gonna keep getting better. But it's like I feel like the lockdowns had a great effect on my mind as far as the stand-up, because I'm like, I feel like the world has changed.
Yeah.
Like I just don't feel like I can come back and be the same comic I was after what we all experienced last year.
Yeah.
So where I'm at now, I feel like I'm in a very raw and honest place. Like I got this thing that I keep saying to people. I'm like, you know when you chat to your boy and then you have another conversation with your mum and then you go to work, you have another conversation. It's all different versions of you.
Yeah.
I'm at a point in life now where I want every version of me to be the same regardless of what's going on. I'm not changing my energy anymore. So that's the
true freedom,
I want to
innit?
take to the stage.
Yeah, that's a great place to be.
I saw Jay-Z say a clip, and you know, there's like a bit of an energy about referencing Jay-Z quotes when you start speaking in conversations like this. But when he said, "I'm me everywhere I go," bro, that hit me in the chest, bro. Because I remember who I was at work.
Yeah.
Travis got a joke about being at work
Yeah.
after the BLM protest. Yeah, bro, that shit. When I watch that, I'm dying because they got you at work. You're this is meek, humble person in the corner, and they look up on the screen, they see you at the front of a protest screaming "No justice, no peace," and now you got to explain yourself to the whole office what you was doing on the weekend.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, you got to really just rinse off any culture on you and get to work and be like, "Yep, you are, Gary. Yeah, not too bad, mate." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not doing that no more, man." And you start to realize that the respect that comes with that is just, it's double what you would imagine.
I think people underestimate the luxury of being yourself everywhere.
Because look at who you referenced. You went to that. That's a very extreme example. A Jay-Z.
Yeah. He's created that for him.
That's real.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, where who can say what? Like, this is me. Like, I'm like this with my boys. I'm like this at work.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think what it was for me is when it's like, obviously being in stand-up, I'm a full-time stand-up. So it's like, I am a stand-up comic all the time. Then I have meetings, which were like, boardroom settings, you know what I mean? Producers or, commissioners or whatnot. And in those conversations, I'd feel myself do the work thing again. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm actually here on my own speed. Like, I am myself, which is what got me here. So I don't need to be coming in on some, "How you doing, mate? You all right?" And I'm like, "No, what's good, bro?" You know what I'm saying? You heard me talking like that on stage. Why would I do that? And it's not
It's
that
muscle memory, don't it? Because
That's right.
like I said, once you enter office space, you're like, "Oh shit, I'm back at work."
Yeah.
It's not even enforced on me. It's just my own thing. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm putting it down.
Yeah. I mean, someone like me, I don't know about comedy shows like that unless, it's the huge ones, like the comedians.
Yeah.
The Dave Chappelle's and stuff of that nature. Like, so what's your scene like? Like, you say you're a full-time comedian. Like, like, how often do you do shows in a week, in a month? Like, what's it like?
So it's like the scene, it's a weird one to, like, I don't know what I would refer to as the scene now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I used to be just only on the black circuit. Like, for the first 7-8 years of my career, it was just a black circuit.
Right.
Well, you got jokes, all that stuff at Catford Theatre.
Yeah. And it's like, you just kind of stay on the conveyor belt doing those same kind of shows. And like, I got signed to my agent. And after that, I'm now in different rooms, mainstream audiences, and I'm up and down the country. So now it's like, whereas I used to be proper London based, I live in my car. And it's like, I just, get out. No matter who's there, where they're from, you get out and you work. And I think this has been amazing for me because it's like, I get to see my comedy in different demographics. Do you know what I mean? Like, you pick up fans from people that you probably would never speak to for any other reason.
Yeah.
And for me, that it's made my voice more confident, more powerful, because now I'm like, I don't care what's going on out there. The minute I get out there, no matter who's out there, I can work. Whereas before, I never used to feel like that. I used to be asking, what is it mixed? Like, what's the black people like? You want to know
any man them in the building.
Yeah.
How does your if it at all? How does your content differ? You said you're up and down the country in your car. Obviously, you come from being like quite London focused, black circuit.
Yeah.
When you go from a full black room to a room full of Garys, you're saying obviously like you want to be 100% yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Does the content change when?
No, it's not. And I think that's what's made me get to this point where I'm like, I'm gonna be me everywhere, because it's like when I used to feel like I needed to change, you get on there and you start doing the work voice starts to come out.
Yeah.
You start thinking, this is gonna help these men understand. It doesn't, because authentic energy shines through it all. And I never used to buy into it until like one time I was pissed off because I was doing 2 gigs in one night. The first one, I was shit, bro. I don't know what happened that night. I just was out of rhythm. Do you know what I mean? It's like I was trying some new stuff, but then I went back to proving stuff, and the proving stuff I was fucking up.
Right.
So the joke wasn't even coming out straight. So I got to the second gig and I was pissed off. It was like a mainstream room, white crowd. And I just came out there and I just said, you know what, fuck it, let's go. And it was Comedy Store actually. And I said, you know what, let's do it. And I just was myself.
Right.
And it just slapped.
Well, the one in Leicester Square.
Yeah.
That venue's dope still.
And I was like, you could tell I didn't care because I'm wearing a tracksuit on stage.
Right.
Like at this point, I'm not even.
Or the Ralph Lauren joint.
Yeah. Bro, I didn't care, fam. But it's like that response let me know, okay, you know what? The genuine thing works, like regardless of where you come from.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I just double down. Where things get nuts is when you have conversations about race and you start talking about politics, and then the man's like fully a Tory guy, he's heavy on it, and he's trying to heckle back. And now it's like you come back with a funny heckle, but he's now just having a convo with you.
Yeah.
So now it's like, all right, let's have an organic moment then, and we just talk. I've had bare of those moments, and it's like I now know I'm never leaning out. I'm leaning into all those dialogues because I think it's just we come away from it better.
Yeah,
I'm happy to hear that though. Because
yeah, it's a great place to be, like, but it must have been also challenging, like, just to, or in my mind, it must have been challenging in how it may be received because it's a brand new energy.
Yeah. It's, you know what, it's one of those things where you just gotta say fuck it and just go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to create a persona that I have to live by because that persona blows.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like your mental health as an entertainer, it's important. You got to keep that at the forefront. Like, there's pressure to maintain energy that's not real.
Yeah, because they say as a comedian, like, some of them are the most depressed because, like, they spend the most of their time trying to make people laugh.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I think the depression thing got a little bit out of hand when Robin Williams passed away.
I see that all that. I know that's where that reference comes from. People don't realize it, but as soon as my man passed away, everybody, there might be truth to it, but a lot of people
hear that. I did hear those quotes prior to him passing.
It's definitely a thing, but it's not like the thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I had bare people hitting me up when Robin Williams passed away.
Bro, how you doing, fam?
Yeah, how's it feel, bro? Like, I know the pressure. And I was like, all right, that's his experience. And yeah, there's some dark moments, but we all have dark moments. Like, we're in the same world. But I think it might have been a little bit out of hand after Robin Williams passed away.
So I think, obviously, after you came here 2018, I think the next time I saw you were preparing for Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
You did he was working some material.
Yeah.
Was it in Wimbledon? Was that one theatre?
You came to that one, innit?
Yeah, I came to that one.
Yeah.
Like, what was that experience like when you went to Edinburgh, and what's like the comedic grind for you to get to this point where like you're working consistently?
You know what? Edinburgh was a great experience as a comic, like performing every single day for the month. Like, you literally doing an hour show every day. And it's not like it's in the evening. My slot was 2:30 in the afternoon. So you go out, you flyer yourself.
So you got to do your own street team stuff?
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
You stop people in the street. Why should I come to your show? You got to tell man a joke or do something to win him over in that moment. So it's like, it's a proper grind. And then you go and do your show, and it's like, you don't know who's going to be there. Yeah. I had a full room one time, and it spun me because I'm like, all right, full room, it's going to be an easy gig. Get out there. And the laughter weren't really, it weren't really
laughing.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? And they just like, I started speaking. I was like, you know what? Let's forget the plan right now. What's going on? You all right? They're all from Sweden. The rhythm, their English weren't strong like that.
Right.
So now I'm in this moment where I'm like, I got to make this work for you guys who don't speak English as a first language.
You got to start making Zlatan jokes and that.
Get it cracking. And it's like, that's one of my proudest moments because I turned it around. And
you have to be multi-dimensional, like, in turning things around like that, because that could just also throw you off. Okay, how do I humor people from Sweden?
There's a language barrier, bro.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
what can you do here?
Like, how am I supposed to? How can I turn this shit around?
What it is, they understand English, but when you got London references, South London references, they're so
accent,
normal to you.
And all that stuff.
Like, they're losing certain things. So for me, that was a real eye opener, and like, I just realized how big the world is.
And that's you reading the room as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And your ego didn't carry you, because like that could be like
Vans, I would have tried to power through all the material. Oh, well, you don't like this one? I got 4 more.
What? No plan B? Nah.
I'll just keep going.
But the baddest thing about it is that like this, it's not like a comedy show setup where there's a host and there's a vibe and you come out to a cold room, fam.
Oh, so no one's even there trying to warm up, nothing?
Nobody, bro. You start,
no foreplay, nothing, just straight into it.
Dick, bang.
Wow. Okay.
But it's like you come in and it's like, raw, let's go. And that built a resolve in me that like, I don't know how I would have developed that just on a normal scene.
Yeah, would you call that maturity in a comedian?
100%. Just for the experience of gigging every single day, it definitely left a proper mark. Now, the other side of being at Edinburgh, which I thought was a bit nuts and kind of left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, is how expensive it was. So this was like 8 to 10k. Fortunately for me, I got my show sponsored, right? By a black-owned business, Reggie Cole. Got a shout him out every time. And I'm thankful for that. But when I came back and I really enjoyed the experience, I couldn't really just tell the man, go up to Edinburgh, bro. It's going to be sick. And that's when I felt the divide of the privilege difference. Yeah.
So there's tears in this comedy thing when like, if you can not buy you in, but if you've got that backing, whether you're like a sponsor, you're willing to spend that bread.
Yeah.
Then you might end up on Mock the Week or.
That's what I'm saying.
You know.
That's the thing. So on that side of things, and that's an ongoing conversation about like being able to get up there. Like, I feel like TV network should literally hold some money aside that people have to compete for, enter a comedy competition or something. You win it, you win the funding, and you go to Edinburgh. Your thing's paid for. Because there's people from certain backgrounds ain't gonna be able to spend, like, hit 10K.
No, of
Yeah.
course not.
And there's certain men that's rubbish, and they got 10K coming every summer.
No,
There's a sense of privilege.
man, there 4 summers in a row, no shows.
Fam.
Yeah.
But then
like,
with obviously because like sorry to cut you, I mean like I remember when we had Mo on here previously and he's spoken about going to Edinburgh. With the rise of social media,
yeah.
is that traditional, like, you know, like almost like the blue ribbon thing in comedy? Is that route still the one to go down when like you can get your phone out and do
Yeah,
content?
cracking. Yeah, do you know what it is? It's like when I look at guys like Mo, I'm like, nah, bro, salute to you, brother. Do you know what I mean? It's like he was at my first gig. Like, it's one of the ones where it's like this thing goes back far.
Yeah.
So it's like to watch man where he is now. It's just like, it's nuts.
Soaring.
Yeah, it's incredible. But like for me, I think the decisions I've made, it's like I've seen a lot of men jump on social media and really get dope at it, and they never really that weren't them in the beginning.
Yeah.
Them, I give credit. Do you know what I mean? I think for me, I've always put on a solo show. I've always put, even if it was in a small little bar, like standing on stage for an hour, I was like, this is a craft that I know is gonna keep paying me for the rest of the way. If I can deliver content like this and keep this thing going, because this is what the greats do.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, I still have an old school view of why I started this thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't even so much sketch shows that were on TV that got me in the game. Is when I watch a stand-up special and it's an hour and I'm like, oh my days, I love this guy. I want to be
An hour
him.
just went by quick.
Yeah. For me, there isn't much that stands next to that.
Yeah.
And that's not to diminish what other men do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because some of the men are doing the hours as well. But for me, I hold that hour in such a way, I'm like, okay, I want to be able to do a legendary special.
I was looking more on from an aspect of like kind of leaning into what you're saying about the cost.
Yeah.
If it's like you said, okay, cool, it's so expensive, 8 to 10K, maybe TV companies should like do the competition thing.
Yeah.
And if that's not an option, maybe man should use their phone, not in the same format that maybe a Mo's done, just posting your work.
Oh, 100%.
Because like, what's my man, Uncle Ed, Edwin Jr. He's someone that I've seen has done the kind of sketch stuff, Vine, Keek, Snapchatty stuff online, but it's now actually going on stage trying to actually do the traditional stuff and work. And I don't know what the reception's been like, but I see man actively
he's
doing
working.
shows.
I've seen him at some clubs, like not maybe a year or two ago, but like seeing him at the clubs and he's putting in the work. And for me, I take my hat off and salute. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because he's not necessarily trying to, you know, go with the online like following.
You know his name, Edwin Jr. It's not Uncle Ed on stage, it's Edwin Jr.
But what I like, I respect that he's doing as a purist comic, is that he's not trying to take the following and be like, yeah, let's go Indigo 2 for my first show. He's like hitting the boring comedy clubs and really working. So when I saw that, I was like, bro, salute to you, bro. I hope it goes all the best. Like, it goes amazing.
Yeah. That's good. You got some big news. November.
Yeah,
you got
bro.
a one-man show.
November 12th, Bloomsbury Theatre.
Okay.
Yeah, man. This is it's the biggest show of my career. Do you know what I mean? I say that humbly. But it's like, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited. Last time I performed at Bloomsbury Theatre was years ago. Yeah. All of us on the lineup. It was the About to Blow show. So you had Mo, Dane Baptiste, Ori Styler, Axel, Baba Tunde, Mikey Carpenter. So all of us, man, that you see like on TV now enjoying.
Yeah.
I remember that night, and I said to my manager at the time, I said, next time I come back here, I'm coming back by myself.
I love that.
That's sick, man.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's one of those moments where I'm like, this is a bucket. It's on my bucket list to do this venue. So for me, like, so many things have happened in this year, but also I've been in like therapy since like January.
Sick.
And what that's done for me personality wise and as a stand-up, like my voice has changed. Like my commitment to being transparent in that way, it's changed my energy. Do you know what I mean? And it's nuts. Like when my boy KG, who I pod with every single week, is like, bro,
Shouts KG.
Undefeated podcast.
yeah. And he's like, bro, it's different now. It's very different energy coming from you. So for me now, I'm in an unfiltered space where I'm like, fuck it, let's go on stage, me and that mic, raw honesty. If you've seen me before, you haven't seen me like this. November 12th.
Tickets still available?
Tickets are still available.
Right,
man.
yeah, I'm going to try and pick some up.
Yeah, come through, man.
Just put 2 aside for the off the cuff. Because listen, Trav knows I support. Like when he
Yeah.
when you got me down to obviously do the stuff when you're preparing for Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Even when you did, it was a smaller room. I can't remember. I don't know if it was North
It's like
London.
New Wimbledon Theatre. Oh, Bill Murray, you're talking about?
Yeah, the Bill.
Yeah.
I come in there with Mrs. matching leather jackets.
Imagine, I remember that.
Trav didn't remember didn't clock it was me at first.
Right.
So he said something cheeky, but I was like,
Oh.
Trav don't notice me.
What did you say? What did you
No,
say?
it was more like, right, I see you lot in the jackets.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, in the biker jackets.
I was wearing, you know, like Sons of Anakin. I had a jacket on. I've gone to Lincoln. She got the jacket on. I was like, we're gonna like,
You'll pull up in a
we're gonna look
Harley.
like that couple wearing leather jackets, isn't it? And we were late, so we had to, and the only 2 seats were right at the front.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's
No,
cute, man.
I know as a rule, you never sit at the front of comedy shows
Yeah.
because
But you wear your leather jackets, man. It's nice. It's cute.
No, the comedian can be going for a dry spot.
Yeah.
And now they want to do crowd work.
Yeah.
Don't use me for jokes.
Yeah.
I pay my money and now you're
You become material now.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you now, you see me at a show and I'm just like, Ross, what do you do, big man? Oh, I understand, I've forgotten where I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm a real nigga.
That was a good show. There's a mix of like, I think you did, was it 2 in one day? Like,
Yeah.
I think the slot I come to, there was a mix of ages, and Travis got this really like, it gets sad for a second, but it's a bit about RIP of your granddad, innit?
Right.
Yeah.
What's the funny thing your granddad used to say? You can say, well, the position is this. That is the coldest line ever.
Well, the position is this.
When a man wants to set up something, I'm about to say something serious, everybody fall in line. I'm calling rank. I'm OG. You lot all eat in this. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. No,
That's when you know when it's a serious chat. You can't even go nowhere.
Yeah.
Don't even try and interrupt.
Wait, my granddad was a character, bruv. It's nuts. Like, even you just said it now, just, you know, when it's like you've grieved over someone.
Yeah.
But just to hearing it, all comes back. It's nuts.
A rush of emotion.
Yeah, it's mad how it goes. But it's like, I remember my granddad, which was nuts. I don't want to bring the tone down, but like when he was passing away, I remember just not being able to really understand how he was dealing with this, because he was cool with it, bruv.
Right.
Telling the family, yo, this is what's gonna happen after I'm gone. Like, so matter of fact. He was calling his death the big switch.
Did the granddad have a sense of humour?
Bro, he was so funny.
I hear it.
I can't wait to get away from you lot.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
That's where the funny bone comes from in the family.
That's dope.
Right. He's the root. I mean,
because that bit was cold. Because like we're talking about like manhood and crying and stuff. Innit?
Yeah.
And Trav didn't cry straight away, but he cried later.
Right.
And when that cry hits you, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Because
spiritual.
You're reliving a series of moments. It's not even just like the one moment.
It's all the moments that you wanted to cry over the years.
Yeah, and it's like from as early as you can remember up until the last moment of someone's life, and it's like you've watched that, bro. You've experienced that. You've been passed in it.
My aunt passed away last year. I got the call. My sister was like, she just basically like said it to me very matter of fact over the phone. Like, big mummy's passed away. Mum can't stop crying. You need to come to the house, innit? So I'm sat at my dining table. I just told my missus, my mum's sister passed away. I need to go, and I've just gone. Trip was atrocious. Like, I didn't even know what I had on in that. As I'm walking there, I'm just in pieces. I phoned Sosa. I don't even know what I said to him over the phone, but it wasn't audible. But I just had to speak to but I was walking for ages. I could have taken a cab. Like, my head was. I don't know why I walked to my mum's, but I just walked in it. But I think, like, think about it now. I think maybe I walked because I know I needed to get there and her not meet me like that or me meet her like that. Yeah. And it might just be a man thing. You feel like you got to be strong, because maybe I should have gone there and cried out with my mum, innit? But when I walk in, and because for me, that was like our matriarch of the family. She lived with us for a bit when she moved to London. And she was one of those untraditional Afs or Nigerians where she didn't care to stay in the UK. It was very much a money grab, get your P's and cut. When I got kicked out of my house, she was the person I lived with for a little bit, and that we had a good relationship. The first time I went to Nigeria, it was her house that was our base, where we left our luggage, our passports, and she had me in like high regard. Like, she loved us, innit? So so when I got there, my mum's in pieces. But I think like the emotional thing, you don't know when it hits you.
Attachment,
you think
bro.
You know you're gonna like play it. When it hits you, bro, it's like if I had the bogey, everything was a madness,
bro. There's that love that comes with real attachment to someone, like, and not just in a physical sense, because once they're gone and it finally hits you that you're not gonna see them again, it's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, and it just creeps up on you at random times.
Yeah,
like my uncle passed away last year. And he lived in Spain, but because he's passed away, it still feels like he's in Spain, and the reality hits me that he's actually not in Spain. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh shit, I can't just phone him.
No, you forget, bro.
Yeah, you forget.
You forget.
Yeah,
you forget.
Well, boy, R.I.P. to all your loved ones, man.
Yeah, man.
Even to
You
those
know.
listening.
For real.
Yeah, not to sour the mood in that, but it's important to have that conversation. And that's why I really enjoyed that joke, because there was funnies in there, but it was real. I don't think sometimes I get a lot of that from UK comedy, where it's like, bro, there's like the snaps online and that, like the roadman content or put on the woman's wig content, all that stuff. But it's like, when it comes to comedy, I want you to tell me a story. And like, Trav took us on a journey in that small, and all of us in that room was all engaged, like fully in it. So anytime I see that content, I like big up to you, because like I don't know what it's like, would have been like writing that, let alone performing that.
Yeah, there's one like performance where I did where I was like, the tears nearly came while I was on stage, and that's a mad. I've cried on stage before,
right?
And it's like,
what, like
catches you so off guard, bro.
From like happy tears or
so basically I was talking about my daughter, and like the material was basically talking about like her having a stepdad now. Okay. And it was one line in the joke that's, it was a lively material, and it was basically something I said like, even though I'm not, in your life as much anymore, you are my life. And it's, there was a punch off, but it's like, just saying that, it hit me, and I was just like, I literally stopped talking, and it might have looked like a comedy pause, but I was like,
you're trying to gather your bearings.
Shit, I'm gone. And you feel that ball coming from your throat. I was like, no, not on stage, cuz. So the toxic masculinity came up and kind of cut the tears in half.
He's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. But the audience knew what time it was.
Man, that's cold, man.
Oh yeah, making jokes about that situation is nuts as well.
This is it. I'm honest when I'm on stage. I can be more honest on stage than I can be.
That thing,
well, okay, be honest. Because he's a pop, like, so he's a dad. That's why he's all anime. What was that like when it's like there's another dad around, basically someone that she's gonna be around, someone that's gonna be around her on a regular basis now?
Yeah, do you know what's madness? It's like, it's a lot of insecurity, because you start thinking, I'm gonna be replaced in your eyes.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be number one to you.
Yeah,
that's scary.
It's sort of like you're under threat,
bro. That scared the crap out of me. And it's like, I don't have the hours that he has. So then it's like
waking up in the same house, all that stuff.
Just time in general.
School run.
Yeah. But what happens is, like, I guess over time in my process and my relationship with my daughter, you start to really see that you actually can't be replaced as her dad. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? And
as long as you're getting it right.
Him being in her world, in that relationship setting, is good for her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no malice there. Do you know what I mean? It was a lot of insecurity when I was writing that material and where I was at the time, because it's like, I'm really unsure with my state, and I feel like I'm competing a little bit here. But it's like, me and the guy have a good relationship. Do you know what I mean? I see him, there's no malice there.
You'd be maxing out on the weekends and like take her everywhere.
Oh,
Fort Park, Disney, all in one weekend.
All in one.
It's like, we're going to Dubai this weekend, baby.
You want to have pizza for breakfast? Anything. Ice cream for lunch? Why not? Sending her home with bad habits and that. That's crazy.
But it's like, that's kind of just with me, like I was saying, like, I can be more vulnerable. Well, there was a time where I could be more vulnerable on stage, right, to a person that I care about. So I would actually say to someone, come see my show this Saturday. That would be my way of saying, I want to tell you something.
That's cold.
Yeah, that's dope. But there's maturity in all of that, No,
it sounds like you're in a really good, like the fact you're saying you like started doing therapy. It makes sense. I was gonna ask you, like, how do you get to this place of being super free? But it sounds, by the sounds of it, it's like I said, COVID made a lot of us sit down and think. Yeah. If you're in therapy and also looking like, if I'm gonna kind of, like, go out on your sword, like, yeah, let me be my unfiltered self. At least then I know that it wasn't anything to do with me not trying and being my true self. Absolutely. If they didn't gravitate towards it, maybe it just wasn't for me.
Facts. And where I'm at now in my headspace, I'm like, got my family, love my family. We spend time any time we can get. Yeah, I'm saying, me and my babes, my kids. That's all I care about. So the rest of this thing here, I'm like, nah, we're gonna empty the clip every single time.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Because they're not gonna switch side with how this goes.
Oh no.
So I'm good.
Everyone's in formation over there. Everyone knows the time it is.
Yeah. People that stand behind me, they will be behind me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's just, that's the energy I'm on.
So November the 12th, Bloomsbury Theatre. Yeah. Why should people buy tickets and come out and see you?
Buy tickets because I'm about to give you a part of me that I treasure, I hold dearly. This is important to me. And the filter is coming off. Do you know what I mean? I feel like now we're at a place in society where the masks are coming off. Okay. Man are having real conversations now. The energy is different, and I just want to take that to the stage.
So Squid Game vibes, who's behind that mask and that.
Straight.
Okay.
I'm on it.
So yeah, come through, man.
No, I'm super happy for you. We're definitely going to be in the building as well. So
yeah.
All the RNA community, all the cufflinks, please buy some tickets. Come down and see Travis. I was gonna say, should we do a little giveaway in that? But we're spending money. So
No,
we can do. Yeah, we can do, man. Like
that was a test still.
Man. Our listeners deserve it, man.
Yeah, a little side giveaway. Which would be cool. We can definitely pattern out. But